Hey there, hope you're doing good. Let's continue our refactoring of Futurecam, the image processing app. Even if you're not an iOS engineer, this will be helpful because the underlying principles are common between languages and frameworks. We have a bunch of tasks to work on, and right now we'll work on this task. The file size can be non-optional and return 0. This is the one, the file size. Returns the size of the file and nil if the file doesn't exist. Now we are considering changing it to 0 because we don't need to worry about that difference. Yeah, so this has separate error handling for non-existent video files and 0-byte files, which is overkill. I think it will help for debugging though. If things go wrong, you'll know whether there's no file or it's a zero-sized file. So we can leave it. This doesn't really help. Let's move on to another task. Can we work on this? I'm looking for low-hanging fruit, not like global refactorings at this point. Okay, as CF dictionary. Yeah, I mean clearly NSD dictionary and CF dictionary are bridged, which means they are synonyms. You still need to do a cast, but the cast is guaranteed to work at runtime. So this is how it works. If you have an A, which is an NS dictionary, and it is initialized in some way, and let's say you have a function that accepts a CF dictionary, you can invoke it with A this way. This cast is guaranteed to succeed at runtime because they are really the same time. Apple calls them toll-free bridged. Or they are alternate implementations, but that is abstracted away. So at a high level, you can still think of both of them as the same time. No, obviously you can do this. Sorry for the noise. It's summer and it's hot. So I have the window open, which is why the traffic noise is coming in. I can close the window and turn on the AC, but then the microphone will pick up the AC noise. So sorry for that. Okay, this should work. Can metadata tracker return a typed dictionary? Yes. This one does not return a typed dictionary. So here, when you look for, when you invoke this, you have to cast it this way. This can't be changed. Like one way to avoid the cast would be to change this to untyped as well, but this is an iOS API that we are implementing, so we can't change that. Yeah, this should be a safe change. So the first thing to note is it returns an NS, let me undo. It returns an NS mutable dictionary. So someone can modify the values in this. But I don't think callers are doing that. Replacement metadata. CV pixel buffer. Core video. Here the save function takes only an NS dictionary. This again converts it to a normal dictionary. So the mutable part, though it's a different thing, here it doesn't matter. Light trail so far is a core image bufferer. And if you ask the core image bufferer for the image, it will return a CI image, core image plus util. Now when you call save on this, again this takes an NS dictionary. Show adjustment screen. This again I think takes an NS dictionary. See, it takes an NS dictionary. So the fact that it is mutable, long story short, is actually not used. So you could change this and no existing code will break. That's the first change. Now the second change is you can do this string to any. You can always put a cast here. So what does deeply mutable return? It returns an NS mutable dictionary. This itself is odd. It accepts as input a CF dictionary and returns a NS mutable dictionary, which I don't like. Yeah, so the first change we can make is like the crude change will be to put a force cast here and remove it from the caller side. Let's do that, that's still better. At least the interface is better now, even if the implementation is not better. So two changes we made. One is we made NS mutable dictionary to NS dictionary, which doesn't help, doesn't hurt by itself. Then we made it more typed this way, and we changed the implementation So the implementation still uses a force cast, but at least it's encapsulated. Yeah, if the Swift compiler gives data, you can always change the types here. Don't want to go too far doing the job of the compiler. Like ideally we'd be doing this on a Mac, but I don't have a Mac anymore. So yeah, I'll have to. The alternative is this deeply mutable can be made typed. So if you look at the implementation of deeply mutable, one second. Yeah, so again, one improvement is this and make this a var, because now that it's a var, ooh, you shouldn't do this. It's convenient to work with an NS mutable dictionary. So let's, because otherwise what happens is the elements within it have to be copied back. Yeah, I think it's fine. We leave it alone. We did improve the type signature to match what it actually returns, because all the keys are indeed strings. Alright, now that that is done, I'll see you in the next video.